Today's video will be on proteins. Proteins are a brilliant molecule. They are very important in biology, in the way cells work and the way cells are able to survive. So all living things require protein. They are a polymer. This means they are made of many repeating units joined together. Those repeating units are known as monomers. And the monomer for a protein is amino acid. Amino acids are brilliant. They have a great simple structure. A central carbon, which has a carboxylic acid group added, and then an amine group added to it, and an R group. So the amino comes from the amine and the acid comes from the carboxylic acid. That's where they get their name. The R is very important. This is our side chain. The side chain is different in each amino acid. In total there are 20 different amino acids that we require to make proteins. Of these amino acids, 9 are classed as essential amino acids. This simply means that these ones we cannot make via processes in our body. We need to get these via our diet. The other 11 are classed as non-essential. So we can make these 11 amino acids via processes in the body, but all 20 are required. So just because the fact it's called non-essential does not mean we need these as less than the other 9. We need them all equally, and we get our non-essential and our essential from our diet primarily, but we can make the 11 non-essential as well. So how do we put these guys together? How do they form the long chains that make proteins? Well, this is a condensation reaction. We take our first amino acid. The R group does not matter, so it does not affect the formation of this bond. And we add to that a second amino acid. It's our second one. Now it's a reaction between hydroxide or OH of the acid group and the hydrogen of the amine group. This reacts and forms a bond between the two amino acids. There we go. And also produces water as a byproduct. So we'll put that in here. So this bond that joins the two amino acids together is called the peptide bond. So the bonds between amino acids are called the peptide bond, and so the long chains of amino acids have many peptide bonds, so they can be referred to as polypeptides. So we said that proteins have lots of functions within cells. So let's have a look at the functions. One of the most important functions is enzymes. Enzymes are biological catalysts. This means they can speed up reactions within cells. They are vital for cell survival. Reactions in cells would occur naturally but too slow for it to work, so we use enzymes to speed that up. Enzymes are also obviously very important in digestion. Enzymes are made in the stomach, in the small intestines, in the pancreas, all released to digest the food we eat and break it down so we can easily absorb the nutrients. Some proteins are transport proteins. Now, these transport proteins can be many different things, but probably the most important one is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the protein that carries oxygen in red blood cells around our body. So let's put hemoglobin there. And digestion for our enzymes above. Then we have our cell membranes. Now, cell membranes are what surrounds our cells. This controls what goes into our cell and what goes out of our cell. And the proteins there have many different functions. They can be channels to allow things in or out, or pumps to pump molecules in or out. They also have the idea of receptors and enzymes, electron carriers. There are many different functions in the membrane. So it's very important. Hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers within the body, and some hormones are proteins. So these travel around the blood from the original place they were made, tell cells to do things. One of the most important ones is insulin. Insulin controls blood glucose levels by reducing blood glucose levels, telling cells to take glucose in, primarily the liver and the muscles. And lastly, the one I want to talk about is antibodies. So these are made by our white blood cells in response to disease and infection. These simple proteins latch on to pathogens that are causing the disease or infection. They stop them from working or tag them for other white blood cells to engulf and destroy. They are very fun proteins. So to recap, we know that our proteins are a polymer of amino acids. There are 20 amino acids. 9 are essential and 11 are non-essential. When they join together, they form peptide bonds. So we can call them polypeptides. And they have many different important functions, such as enzymes, antibodies, and hormones. So any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time,